Hello, today we're going to teach you to construct a screen in order to screen print. Alright, what we have here is a set of supplies in order to successfully make a screen in order to screen print. First, we have a wooden frame. This one here is 12 by 18. Next, we have some cardboard furring strips that can be cut out of any type of cardboard used to tack down my screen. Next, we're looking at a staple gun that could be picked up at any local hardware store. Any size staples will do. Next, you have a hobby knife, an X-Acto knife, or any type of sharp razor blade knife will do. And finally, we have our screen, any type of screen that is made for screen printing purposes. Here, I want to lay my frame on top of my screen so that the top side and the left side are adjacent to each other. So it's parallel, and I'm going to mark myself a cut line. Cut line that's about 4 to 5 inches, or a normal hand's width, so that I have enough excess screen around the outskirts of my frame, so that my partner has enough screen in order to get a good grasp with his fingers and knuckles, so he can pull the screen tightly. So that way the screen's going to be tight when I staple it down. Now, there is a correct way to use a staple gun. You want to make sure you align the two front guides with your target, and then apply pressure on the top end when squeezing the trigger. Now, there is a correct way to staple screen. What I want to do is when I staple my staple into my frame on top of my furring strip, I want to go in at a 45-degree angle. This 45-degree angle allows the staple to tack down multiple threads inside of my mesh. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to align my screen on top of my frame now, making sure that those two first sides were adjacent to the side of the frame. Next, I'm going to use a furring strip, and you can go ahead and rip that off to the size you need it. It's only cardboard. And apply it evenly across the top frame. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and tack that front side. When I attach the top side, I want to have my partner pull the screen so that way when I do staple it down, my screen is taut. Go ahead and use a 2 finger width spacing between each staple, remembering to put them at a 45-degree angle. Go ahead and staple across the entire length of the top side. Do the same thing to the left side. Have your partner pull the screen tight so it's taut when I go ahead and staple it. As my partner is pulling my screen tightly, I'm going to go ahead and use the same process as I did with the top, stapling in staples every 2 fingers width at a 45-degree angle until I get to the very bottom. Now, the first side is a little bit more extensive with the excess material. I want to have my partner pull very tightly using the thumb V method. Have your partner create a V with his 2 thumbs, and that V that's created will be your guideline. Staple the furring strip, and then he moves down 2 fingers width down every time, and you follow his lead, making sure that he's pulling extremely tight and there's no ripples in your screen. We're going to do the same thing when we pull the bottom. We're going to pull it tight using the thumb V method. I'm going to follow that V and his thumbs as my guideline for my staples on top of my furring strip. The last stage of my process, I want to cut off all the excess material. Not only does this include the excess material I left on the two sides, but any overhang I have on the first two initial sides. Removing this screen will help when I screen print, so that way I don't have any strays or anything laying over in order as an obstruction to get in my way. After removing the rest of my excess, I now have a nice tight frame in order to screen print. Good luck.